Hello everyone and welcome to Moonlit Lioness. And I am going to do the Wednesday pulse, except it's Thursday. So I forgot to do it on Wednesday and a friend reminded me. So I apologize. Had other things going on, but let me just take a quick sip of my water here and smooth out the voice. It's a little scratchy. I'm going to do a different layout today. I've talked about doing different layouts. So this one is more free form where I just kind of lay out cards and I've done it once before. So I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. There we go. And I just noticed so I've got several decks here to show you, as you can see on the side. And they're not all showing up. Let me move them here so you can see. This one's going to squeeze in here. All right, so this is my tarot deck. And this is the one I got on my last trip to Washington, the Great Outdoors. Tarot for the Great Outdoors, J.Q. Gordon. And this one might look familiar. And I've got this medicine, not medicine, what is it? It's, yeah, it's medicine cards. And it comes with this book here, medicine cards. I took a class from Janine Morgeau. So that's the medicine cards. This one is, what is this? This is Sacred Forest. So by Denise Lynn. And I may dig into some of the meanings of the cards and use the books to read some from about the cards. This one here is Herbal Astrology, I believe. Yes, Herbal Astrology, which looks like this. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. The hazard of having a lot of decks. The Herbal Astrology. Yes, Oracle, not astrologer, astrology. And then the last one here is the Woodland Wardens. Woodland Wardens by Jessica Rue. Okay, so those are the decks. I've got 4 oracle cards, and I've got my astrology, or tarot, I mean. My mind is just, that's why I forgot. My mind has been just a fog lately. Okay, so let me go ahead and shuffle. So we'll just go ahead and shuffle, and we're looking for, it's the Wednesday pulse, so we're looking for the energy for the week. What's coming up for the next week energy-wise? Can you please show me what's coming up energy-wise? What's coming up for the week energy-wise? Okay, let's see this one. And then our next deck, what's coming up energy-wise? Okay. That one. Please tell us what's coming up energy-wise for the week ahead. And one more oracle here from the medicine cards. This one definitely wanted to come out. And finally, tarot, which I will just shuffle and I'm going to shuffle and cut. See, I'm telling you, the words are just not coming out today. Maybe there would be better access for my subconscious. Okay. So let me cut the deck. All right. And I'll just keep this over here. All right, I see that my camera is just a little bit. I'm going to push it up and there we go. All right, so let's start looking at our cards. Now this one really popped out compared to the other decks, so I'm going to look at this one first. And we have the skunk. Okay, I remember reading about the skunk in the medicine card book, and it has a lot to do with respect. So you have you know, the animals of the woods and the forest. You know, the skunk doesn't fight or hunt. You know, it's prey. It's not that kind of animal. And when it is attacked, or if it were attacked, you know, its defense is the odor, the odor sac. It sprays the musk on its prey, or on it, not on its prey, but on whoever's attacking it, and then, you know, they run away because they're offended by the smell. So, you know, a lot of animals in the woods, you know, if they just see, if they're familiar with the skunk and they see it, they have respect for it and they just leave it alone because of that. So it has the connotation and the idea of respect behind it. So I'm going to put that right there. And then we've got dragon power. So if you look carefully, you can see there's a dragon in the woods. I specifically picked decks today that are all woodland related kind of things, had that kind of natural. So there's a young maiden here, and she's with her dragon. I guess we'll assume that, you know, it's like her dragon, and she's got, like, I don't know, the moon or like a ball there, and the word is power. So so she's deriving maybe power, or she utilizes her dragon for power or something along those lines. So it has something to do with power, which makes me think about Scorpio, Pluto, those planets, which have to do with, or the planet and the sign, which have to do with power. Okay, next card. We have number 39. The last one was number 11, 7, 11, 39. Ginkgo breakthrough, breakthrough. And these cards have planets on them. So it shows the sign for Mars and Uranus here, which are, Mars is certainly lots of energy, power, lots of energy, and Uranus can be abrupt change. And then this kind of reminds you of if you watch tarot, it kind of reminds me of the Ace of Swords, right? So, but there's like a little twist on the Ace of Swords where, let's see, we've got this ginkgo plant. So I might read something about that, about the ginkgo and how that's healing, what the healing powers of that are. And then lastly, we've got another crow. So we have two crows. The crow in dogwood, intelligence, which, you know, you've got air and the swords and the crow, or in intelligence here. And you've got the crow also, which is interesting. So there's a connection here and here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read the crow and dogwood, and this is number, also, it has Roman numeral number 16. 16. So we've got 7, 1, 1, 3, 9, and 16, 1, 6. 1, 6 is 7. Okay. 1, 1 is 2, 3, 9 is 12. Okay. All right, let me see here. So I want the woodland wardens, the crow and dogwood. The crow and dogwood. Which is, what did it say, 16? So I go to 16. All right. The crow and dogwood. The crow is an incredibly intelligent bird associated with the power of foresight and the ability to use tools. Today, it's often used to signify darkness or foreboding, but modern depictions rarely do the crow justice. According to Norse folklore, the crow is a powerfully positive symbol, meaning meant to remind us of our skills and resources. It says you are capable of solving any problem. Like the crow, the dogwood has a somewhat confused public image. Its beautiful, light-colored petals convey gentleness and whimsy. Few know that its hard bark and strong frame make it an uncommonly durable tree, able to withstand even the harshest weather. So basically, it's saying you have the tools to fulfill your goals and solve any problems that stand in your way. You need only look inward and to find wisdom and strength. So that's very reassuring. We've got the tools. And then I also wanted to look at the herbal astrology ginkgo. That's number 39 in this book because this is about herbals. Okay, ginkgo breakthrough. If it's upright, it says the dawn of a new mind, new ideas, visionary thinking, mental clarity, resilience. Okay. So both of these are about thinking and having tools, which is very interesting, right? Okay. Once common in North America and Europe, ginkgos were said to have disappeared from North America 7 million years ago, and from Europe 3 million years ago. They were thought to be extinct, only to be found growing in Chinese monasteries, where monks had been cultivating the trees since at least 1100 AD. They are now considered to be one of the oldest living tree species in the world, with fossils dating over 200 million years old. The leaves were traditionally brewed as a tea for gastrointestinal disorders, heart problems, and cognitive issues. Here we have cognitive, and here we've got talking about thinking here, right? The fruit was applied directly on the skin and fungal infections and was helpful in relieving breast tissue inflammation like mastitis. To this day, the nuts are a delicacy in East Asian cuisine and are consumed in small amounts, toasted or fried. They are also used medicinally to relieve breathing problems, asthma, and bronchitis. Okay, that's related to air. Swords represent air. Okay, so thinking. I want to remember that how it was used to help in cognitive issues, which we realize today, right? I think ginkgo biloba or whatever, they talk about how, you take that for brain health or something, right? So let's see. Ginkgo has withstood millions of years of challenges, symbolizing strength, resilience, and survival. Archetypally, I'm not going to say this right. Archetypally, I think that's how you say it. Mars represents strength, courage, endurance, survival, action, and primal energy, all characteristics that ginkgo has embodied across time. Like the transmitter of higher energy Uranus, ginkgo is stimulating, an initiator of action, and an invigorating source to the mind. Okay. So far, between this one and this one, there's a lot connecting to resilience, mental capacity, tools for moving forward, and that kind of thing. This is what I used to do for myself. I would read, and then I get a message, and I have a whole book on how I would make connections and figure out a message for myself. So the last card here that I'm not going to read on this one because I remember what that's about. It's about respect. But this last one here, the dragon power, I want to read that. Number 11. Okay, dragon power. Okay. This card suggests it's time to step into your power and take charge of your life. Look to see if there is anyone in your life who is trying to run the show. Speak your truth and take back authority of your own life. You're ready to stand in your strength. If you've lost or given away your authority to someone or something else, it's time to reclaim it. If you're holding on to limiting beliefs or if you're afraid of being shunned, judged, or ostracized, it's time to let go of these limitations. Release any fear of misusing your gifts. True strength doesn't dominate or manipulate. It's a gift from the Creator that dwells within you. You have the spiritual power that's born of sacred love, wisdom, and grace. This ability can heal others and bring light into the darkness. You are a radiant, glorious being. Dragon Spirit at your side is a mighty ally. He empowers you with healing and restorative abilities. He helps you overcome any obstacle, and he protects you in all areas of your life. Okay, very nice. So we've got the situation of resilience here was mentioned, and it's also kind of echoed here. So we're talking about, breakthrough, come back, don't let others control you or hold you down, use your mental tools. Okay, so these are the messages that we're getting. Demand respect, demand respect. So now that we've got an idea of the foundation of the message, I want to go ahead and deal out our cards here and see the details for the week. So this is kind of the idea of the week, and this is going to be just kind of how it plays out. So we've got the Knight of Sticks, which is the Knight of Wands. Okay, it's the fastest card in the deck. In this case, we've got somebody who's climbing higher and higher. So it looks like you're going to, rise up, right? We're climbing. And then we've got the Knight of Vessels, another knight, and that's of Cups. So that is, these people are enjoying being on the water. They're enjoying being with each other. And that is a card about offering a gift and just kind of going with the flow. They're going with the flow here. Five of Sticks. So we've got the Five of Wands, which is some sort of, here you see it as a challenge. So in the original Rider-Waite, we've got, it's showing up as, it looks like it's more external, where there's other people involved and you're having an argument or disagreement, but it could be very internal. And in this case, with the card here, I will read it that way. So there's like an internal kind of challenge that we're facing that that I think these things are going to help with, right? And then you've got the King of Cups. So nicely, so we're moving higher, kind of going with the flow. And as far as facing the challenge, it's surrounded. This challenge is surrounded by this King of Cups and Knight of Cups energy, which is very good. So whatever the challenge is, it has to do with, I think it has to do with something intuition, it's related to the intuition or emotions. There might be something you're feeling emotional about here, where the challenge is to become the King of Cups. So you're at the level of Knight of Cups in this particular situation, and that's very nice, but you're being challenged to be even more, to be the King of Cups, to not let anything sway you, right? You can take on that waterfall, no problem. You can take on the emotional turbulence around you, no problem. You are like a rock. So I think that's kind of the challenge. There's an emotional challenge this week. And then finally, we got the Two of Stones or Two of Pentacles. And I think, this is somebody who's camping in the wilderness. And to me, they seem kind of like they want to be on their own. They've had enough of the emotional part, and they're kind of like, I'm just gonna take it easy. Just gonna, you know. So let me draw aspects to this now. All right, so we've got six of swords. That's a celebratory card, and here you've got somebody who's getting ready. So they're very happy. They're getting ready to go on a snowboarding trip, and something to be excited about, something to celebrate. And it's so they're so the beginning, we're feeling elated because there's something that we're planning to do that we really like, we really are excited and looking forward to, right? um and we're here, we got more cups, so the 10 of cups, and we're feeling uh emotionally well, we're feeling good, we're taking it easy in our situation. We're relating with others well. Um, sorry, excuse me. I feel like I'm raspy. 10 of vessels. So, yes, I mean, this is a very nice energy. So we're rising higher. I mean, this is all very good energy. We're looking forward to something. We are looking forward to relating with other people and having a good time with other people. And then see in the middle and couched in it is a challenge. So let's see what's aspecting the challenge. Okay, so we have the 2 of Swords. All right. So the challenge, and I said it seemed to be like an internal thing. So I think the challenge is, um, when you have the 2 of Swords like this, it's like what I think of, it's like you're saying, I'm not going to respond to that, you know? Because I know if I do, it's not going to come out right, or I'm not going to say that right, or I know the person's not going to react the way, it's just not going to go down the right road. So I'm just really not going to respond to that. And or it's kind of like I'm going to go internally and think about this emotionally or intuitively, and try to respond intuitively and not be too, swords are logic, so cross out the logic and go internal. So I think, the challenge might be in the nice interactions you're having with people. There might be a situation where you don't want to react to something, and you're saying to yourself, and that's your challenge. You're like, I don't really want to. You have to figure out how to react to come out on the other side and be the King of Cups in the situation. So, and here you got the Sun. I mean, honestly, this week looks really nice. So you've got the Sun aspecting the King of Cups, which is where you're heading. You're going to have a little bump, with an interaction, and then you come out the other side, King of Cups, feeling good. You handled that well. Yay, and then at the end of it, it's kind of like, I'm going to take a little breather now. So we've got the 2 of Pentacles aspected by the 8 of Cups. And definitely the 8 of Cups is like somebody who's going off. And this looks like, I said, like kind of like isolated. So after, whatever the challenge is for you, it's going to be, you're going to feel like taking a little break. Yeah, I'm going to take a little break from all that, all the socializing, all the whatever it is you're doing. This could be, this looks very social, and cups can be very social, in nature, but, um, this looks, like I said, very social, but it could be, because it's cups, it could be a creative venture, like I'm going in and I'm going to, Knight of Vessels. I'm going to create something I love. I'm going to create something I love. And then you get challenged and you're like, oh, it's not turning out the way I want it to. I want to have something nicer than what I'm creating. I'm getting really frustrated. And then you force yourself because of this challenge to go more internal, tap into your intuition a little bit more, try to get more insight into how you want to do this creatively. And you come out on the other side with the Sun aspecting the King of Cups. So creative stuff, but it does drain you a little bit in the end because you just kind of want to take it easy, kind of go off and just take it easy after it's all done. And how do the oracle cards play into this? Well, it makes a lot of sense for a social situation because it's about respect. It's about using your, respect. You can reflect respect in your art. You can reflect respect in your creativity. But the power situation usually involves somebody else. Not always, but you're looking to be in command of your space and to showcase, the tools that you have. That that's where the intelligence comes with the crow. We read from it about the breakthrough, the cognitive, helping with cognitive abilities, um, and the crow known for its intelligence. So I think, it's a period where, in the week you have a chance to showcase your intelligence and not and try to get some respect and not allow others to, you know, overpower you, I guess is a nice way of putting it. And and in that's kind of the challenge right there. That's your little challenge where you're going to kind of, it says two of blades. So I think it's about just learning how to handle that situation or, navigate through that situation. And honestly, that's, I mean, these cards are great. They're wonderful, you know? It's really nice. The only one that's kind of a challenge is this, and that's, so I think it's going to be a really nice energy this week according to what I've got here. And I think you're all going to have a great week. Cross fingers. But yeah, I really think it's all going to be very nice. So I hope you enjoyed my read. And if you did, give me a thumbs up. And I will see you on Sunday for Stargazing Sunday. And check out my moonlitlioness.com website. I am doing astrology reads at no cost because I am gathering feedback from my astrology reads in order to finish certification for an astrology class that I'm doing right now. So please check that out, and I just hope that you have a really good week. So um, let me go ahead and stop share here. So like I said, have a good week, and I'll see you next time.